Double delta NQ on the 5. Enigma short on the GC2. Alpha Omega down NQ on the 5.
Welcome aboard, everyone.
What exactly is ALGO, and why do our traders absolutely love it?
Michael Othroom.
Alrighty then, good morning, good morning. It is Mentorship Monday. We welcomed all the new folks who joined in over the weekend. We usually have quite a few people who kind of find us on the weekend, start a 2-week free trial. Welcome aboard to all the new 2-week free trial folks here. We'll focus on here for just a moment here this morning. On Mentorship Monday, I do encourage you to bring your questions and we'll try to get them answered as you are getting started with us during that 2-week free trial. Make sure you are checking your inbox. So we have a new email flow that should be helping you be directed during your trial. Now, if you have, I say done trials with us before, well, therein lies some of the problem. The very statement that I have said there, where if you've done a trial with us before and then you're doing another trial, technically speaking, you're breaking our rules. We only allow 1 trial per person. It's a fairness policy. You should be doing 1 trial with us, but that gets abused. I don't want to say a lot, but it's a lot. Okay. We are going to have to, we are solving some of that problem there. We do want it to be fair for everyone. Our trial is not for you to learn absolutely everything here, and before you ever join in with us, you want to consume all the free content and get all the training and use the system over and over again. Go past some trader funding programs with it, and then maybe eventually join in with us. It's not designed for that. So some things are changing here in the next week. It's June the 1st. I told you guys a lot of things will be changing right there in the middle of the year. First 6 months of the year, we allowed members to join with us in Platinum Dream Pack. So the Platinum Dream Pack is currently available, but it stops today. Today is the last day. There's a countdown timer somewhere on our screen here. Yeah, top right up there. 14 hours left today. After our live stream, I am updating the website with our web team. We're removing a lot of the components there. The current lease to own is going up $50 a month starting today. If you don't get in today, it's going up $50 a month. It's just a thing. Number 2, the 2-week free trial is going away in the state that it currently is located, where all you need to do is toss us an email address. And unfortunately, that gets abused. People send another email address, and then they got a 2-week free trial on their laptop, and then they get a 2-week free trial on their other laptop, and then on their wife's laptop or their husband's laptop, and then their friend's laptop, and then their grandma's laptop, and then their desktop PC, and then their work PC. And next thing you know, they've got 3 months of free trial with us that's going away. Okay, you're not going to be able to do that anymore. There will be a paid transaction that it will be occurring during a 2-week free trial. It will be a risk-free 2-week free trial, but we do need some kind of transaction to uniquely identify the user who's coming in, the user and abuser of the system. So some things will be changing. Also, this is the last chance to get Platinum included on a gold membership. What do I mean? So this is the standard gold level Enigma bot pack here, and it will run the Enigma on full auto standard stuff here. You've got L1 through L4. You do have a time-based filter inside of this. If you can go in there and say, hey, I only want this to run between 9 and 10 or 9 and 11. All those, I won't say all those features. Some of those features are there here. Arm long, arm short, full auto or semi-auto. Flatten all button is there. This version of the bot panel is still be available for those going forward. However, the cool pack, aka this one right here, the dream pack will no longer be included after today. So a new installer will be coming out. So you want to grab this right now. Last chance, literally last chance to the dance. If you made it here this morning, fantastic. If you are in our 2-week free training and you're going to our live streams, like I do request that you guys, hey, during your 2-week free trial, come show up during the live stream so you know what it's like. Here, our trial is there to demonstrate what we do, how we do, and then you become a premium member and we teach you all the things that you need to know. We'll go through the full documentation. Yes, you can still go through the 8-day boot camp right now for free. That will also be included in the trial in the future, but it will be a paid trial. So grab it right now. Last day to do it. If you haven't started yours, I would start it today. Just a note on that, okay? Platinum Edition. What does Platinum Edition have? You'll notice there's way more buttons on this panel, and there's even more features in the parameters section. This is basically the end-all, be-all. This is what Platinum members use, and they're the people who focus on full auto. Not everybody. You don't have to do full auto. You can do quite well here with Cyborg. But right now, as you can see, like our system already hit $1,000. It did. Hold on. Okay. The system already hit $1,000 this morning. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off full auto across the boards. The bots did their job. Locked in on our take profit triggered right there. And congrats. There's a little message there. And we had the auto flatten there, and it did flatten all positions there at $1,000 there this morning. Looks like it might have gotten some slippage there on one of those because now it's less than 1,000. Did I not close that out fast enough? Okay. So the flat null there on that, but yeah, Platinum Edition, where you've got Moonshot filtering, Supermoon filters, MACV Ultimate filter, the Enigma power level, if you want to change the power level to only take power levels greater than 10, for instance. If you want to not take trades inside the fiddle zone, if you want to trade only outside of the fiddle zone area, and if you don't know what the fiddle zone is, well, you need to go through training. And all that is there and available on the website. I'll briefly show you that. Remember, on Mentorship Monday, I do want to take a quick moment to make sure you know where you're going if you are joining our system for the first time. So our documentation, if you head to docs.algoboxpro.com or just go to our website and click on documentation, this will take you to the area where you can research any topic that we discuss during our live streams. Over here on the left, we have it divided up by beginner stuff, talking about introductions. We also have a beginner's course right here. And that's stuff for, like, if you don't know what a futures contract is, like very, very basic stuff, not really algo box related, more futures related. Just, hey, what's the market? What's a candlestick? The basic of basic stuff. It's there for free. Under fundamentals, we talk about the individual components in our system. The Flowmaster Cross, what is the Enigma? What are the SMLK timing lines that we're talking about? How do I know what King timing is? Our speedy chart, how we use the ultimate Obos divergence, the divergence triangles that you see come in on our chart, the individual components themselves, and then we put them all together in the strategies here. Now, as a new member, you want to choose 4 or 5 of these as you go through our training. Some of these will just speak to you. You're like, man, that's a really cool strategy. I like that strategy. I can see that one. I totally get that one. There are fan favorites around here. The headshot, obviously. Headshot is an awesome, fun, and straightforward, easy strategy, I think. I mean, picture's worth 1,000 words. If you see this right here, you're probably ready to take a headshot, right? That's a headshot right there. That is a green, long headshot there. You got a cross plus a dot right near each other within 10 or 15 bars of each other. They don't have to be right on each other like a perfect one like that one or this one. They can be separated like this one, where they're not right on top of each other, but they are in the general vicinity where they land in the same location. This is a order flow event in the cross, and making sure that we know that there are big guys involved there on the tape. And we have a Fibella dot, which is a power structure right there. What is a power structure? It's multi-faceted structure. So inside of this one, it's multiple fibs plus an Elliott wave combo. And if it changes colors, there's additional pieces of confluence in it. It's color coded, everything here. We try to keep color coded so that you know whatever color it is, it's just giving you the information instantaneously so that you can react as a trader. If you want to look up any topic, obviously you can click here, ask any topic. If you hear me talk about, hey, I just hit that DCDM a minute ago, you're like, oh, DCDM, what's that? I mean, DCDM, what's DCDM? Oh, DCDM, let's see, Enigma plus DCDM. Oh, this sounds right, DCDM. Oh, double cross, double move. Oh, there's the description of it, there's the images of it, and then our documentation is laid out so that if you go down to the bottom, you will see multiple versions of videos here. You'll get a quick version, like the 30-second version if you already know the topic and you just need a quick refresh. This one's good. If you want an in-depth, professionally done video, this is not just me, this is done by professional video edit teams here on the first 2. And then there's me, the unprofessional version of this, hey, Vinny Emini, the teacher, walking it through in live examples and trying to talk to you through it and using my, Crayola based color coding where I draw all over the screen and direct you to certain conversations. Now, the 8-day bootcamp, very important. If you're going through the 2-week free trial, 8 videos will cover the entire documentation because, I know you're like me, your eyes cross when you see documentation, you see this amount of documentation, all of this, you're like, oh, how am I going to cover all of that? I don't want to do all that. It's okay. We go through it with you. We go from top to bottom in the boot camp. We literally cover every single item on that list, which is why it took us 8 days and 8 videos to do that. But you get the benefit of that now. You can just go watch the videos and play it at your own speed and pace. Lastly, ChatGPT. Everybody knows about ChatGPT. Well, how about ALGOBox GPT? What is ALGOBox GPT? We have our own custom programmed GPT. I would say not custom programmed, but custom trained ALGOBox GPT that is trained on all of our information, all of our documentation, our live stream videos and details, and our teachings and trainings. All of that is locked up in the brains of the ALGOBox GPT. So you can ask the GPT a question. What are the core components? How about, can you explain the Enigma cadence strategy? Yeah, maybe you don't know. You've heard me say, hey, what's the cadence there this morning? This is like GPT. It's going to give you the whole bulleted outline of all that kind of stuff. You can ask follow-up questions to it. It can walk you through. So if you're a big GPT user, love asking AI questions, you might want to use our ALGO box GPT. Now you can just use, most AI are familiar with our stuff because we have put our documentation out there publicly. So a lot of this has been consumed by normal AI like Claude or Gemini or Grok. If you're one of those users, ask it, say, hey, tell me about the ALGO box strategy called DCDM, and then see what it comes up with. But if that's not working, or you think there's some questions around it, come and use ours, because we know for sure this one is custom trained on our content. Okay. I will put a link to this in the chat, but if you're looking for it any other time or later on, if you're not a link person or you don't get the link, you can click here and ask GPT. We'll just type in, where's our GPT? I forget, why is this introducing GPT? There we go. It's kind of hidden in here. I don't like the way we did this. I always complain about this, and one day I will change it. Here it is, way down here, hidden amongst the leaves. ALGO box GPT, right here. Click to, and you'll eventually find this. So I'm sorry that this is hidden. We will get this to a better location. It's also under the resources section on our website. If you're on our website there, you can click on resources and get to it as well. So let me copy this link here for you guys. Copy. All right, and I'm going to post it here in the chat. So bookmark that there for our custom GPT if you're asking questions as you are going through our teachings and trainings. That will be those will be some good resources there for you. Okay. I think that's the main stuff there this morning to get out of the way on Mentorship Monday. It is still about 15 minutes from the US Open. And let's get through our checklist here. So every day we go through a checklist here, and we'll get that on the screen. We'll go through that before the US Open here. First couple things I usually have to check before I even get on the live stream. So the data feed connections hardware is good to go. I do like to check my hotkeys software to make sure that that is running. Gotta have the hotkeys working well on the left-hand side of the keyboard. I'll even show you what keyboard you should get, in my opinion. This one is the Corsair K55 or the K57 if you want the wireless version, where I've got 6 hotkeys on the left-hand side that I can bind to buy, sell, buy, bid, buy, ask, lock in, and close position that I keep there on my thumb. This is the one you always hear me be like, I got my thumb on the close. My thumb rests on my keyboard right there with my finger over the close button anytime while I'm playing the video game. Speaking of video game, that is how I approach the markets. Here are my 5 lives here this morning that I talk about as I'm playing the video game. I want to come in here and hit 5 trades. Within 5 trades, I need to have winner, winner, chicken dinner. Hopefully it's just the first 2, and then I'm gonna look for a bonus. This is the ideal layout here. If I hit a perfect day, if the market just hands me cake, then it should look like this: first 2 winners, and then I'm looking for a bonus. If I lose one, it'll go red, etc. Let's lock in the tide and wave here this morning. The tide is up, the wave is down. So we've got a tide wave split there. You'll learn how we do that as we go through our teachings and trainings. We've only got about 10 minutes now for the US Open, so I'm going to speed through that. I'm not going to necessarily walk through that at the moment. I might come back to it here. Locking in tide and wave over there at the top. Those are 2 high time frames that I want to know what their direction is to kind of tell me where are my runner opportunities here this morning. Day of the week, it's Monday. Time of day, we are a few minutes before the US Open. The news, let's make sure we check our news feed here. I'm going to refresh financialjuice.com. I do recommend using that. Almost every trader out there that I know uses Financial Juice because it's free and it's good.
Front and Iran have set their agenda to completely block the Strait of Hormuz and activate other fronts, including the Bab el-Mandeb Strait.
Okay, so that's the news that we use is a audio-based news feed, as well as on the left it does have the scheduled news like you would pick up from Forex Factor or Econo Day, which is something you'll see in our old teachings and trainings are referring to Forex Factory and Econo Day, but now we do use Financial Juice, so that is an update in the 8-day bootcamp there. So if you're watching the old stuff, don't be confused by that. Just know that some things get updated. We do update videos every quarter whenever we do a code release. It comes with a very extensive update video. I do recommend, if you are going through our 2-week free trial, finish the 8-day bootcamp, but also go through the features and enhancements update video. For instance, this came out in our most recent release, and this is not in the 8-day bootcamp, going through how we use the smart risk risk console. It's a mouthful there. How the difference between the auto flatten versus the auto kill all data connections and auto liquidate all accounts versus the account that it's currently running on, all that good stuff there, and what is the current max ideal target. For instance, right now on GC is 79 ticks, and this has to do with the 4-minute ATR that's currently happening in current market conditions. All right. Let's see other items on our checklist here. FOMC, our next news events here. We have a 9:45. I don't like that. We have a breakup here right in the middle of the morning. 9:45. We have a Red Star news event. I'm going to have my Alexa remind me of that. Alexa, set an alarm for 9:42 a.m. All right, so 3 minutes before that goes off, that will go off, because I will forget right there. I'll be in the middle of a trade and miss and forget that there's a 9:45, because most of the time it's 10 a.m. and we also have a Red Star ISM manufacturing there at 10 a.m. as well. Then we have an 11:30 is the next one after that. So we have 9:30 at the open. Canadian manufacturing PMI comes on right at the open, so we'll just have some extra volatility right there at the open. Then we've got 9:45 and 10 a.m. here this morning as we open up the gate. We still have about 6 minutes till the open. Earnings, we'll wait till the end of the day to concern ourselves with that. Gears, I'm on 5. I think that's good right now. I don't need to adjust the gears. You'll know what those are as you get through our training on adjusting which algo bar we're running on. VIX up, ticks up, contract dates. I mentioned last week, make sure you are on the 08 contract for gold and crude. Those are the only ones who have rolled over. Later this month, we will be rolling over from the 06 contract to the 09 contract. We are in 06 now for the month. It is the month of June. So we will have a rollover there this month for NASDAQ, ES, RTY, and the Dow.
30 a.m. Eastern Time. Get the Canadian manufacturing PMI, where the prior was 53, spot 3.
All right, that's our 5-minute warning there. ATMs, we're good. MACV Ultimate on, and
Price at 25 basis point June ECB hike for the first time since May the 4th.
On and running. All right, we got the P&L cadence does not apply right now. NT8 sounds. Let's rock and roll. Okay, got through our checklist there and news and all that good stuff. Good morning, Brian. Good morning, Kazi. Thanks, Mr. Monta. Ran down to Kuwait this morning from Iran. Okay, so we have some macroeconomic things going on there. Don't fiddle in the middle, that's right. Okay, let me squeeze this down just a hair there. Awesome. Okay, so two-step filtering. I'm going to look over here to the left. This is going to tell me my bias. I literally just pick over here right now. I am sell side. And I'm going to clear a few things from my charts here from last week. Control R, remove drawing objects. Let me save workspace. Last thing I needed to do, I forgot on that checklist. I mentioned it, but I skipped right through it, was the current wave. All right, wave chart should be on 42 this week. That's a significant change from last week. So we post these for you on Sunday night, and the row that I'm concerned with here on my discretionary here is going to be NQ 42. So we care about the period column right here, right there, number 42 for NQ. And if you're trading the other instruments, all those are there. So if you're trading the Dow, it's 25, ES 34, etc. I'm going to be trading the NASDAQ here on my discretionary account here. So I need to lock in the 42 range. So very simple. Just go right here. We were on the 27 last week. You'll see that right there. And now we are going to click here anywhere in the chart. And then I'm just going to start typing. And I want to type, what are we at, 42? Yeah. So I'm going to type 42R. 42R, enter. And there we see our range change right there. Okay. So the chart is adjusted. Did that change our wave? Nope. Wave is still red. Tide is still green. And we are officially ready to rock and roll here this morning. All right. Market opens here in 1 minute, 30 seconds. Okay, we're getting some AO clusters here at the low of day. So low of day, we are getting clustering here. I'm going to mark up this space visually. We have a cluster here and a cluster here. I'm going to make this slightly wider because of that. I'm going to go all the way to
the Canadian manufacturing PMI and the market on
the tip there.
I'll lead with the Canadian data.
Nice wide zone here. Top to bottom, the width of that is 187 ticks. So looks like we're going to have some wide play opportunities here. Did we have jagged on the tape? We did. 925 right here. We had jagged on the tape. Big move coming. Jagged warning. If you've been around with us for a while, you know the deal. Please type jagged warning there in the chat. Do not get off sides. There is a big move coming. Here comes the open in about 20 seconds. So what I'm going to be looking for is a two-step filter. I want to have the nerd plus the arrow. When those correlate, that is going to be my runner play scenarios. Right now I have red nerd and green arrow. So they're in conflict with one another. I'd like to wait, ideally, when those are
open imbalance. S&P 500
together.
285 million. Nasdaq 100.
Big open here.
3 million. Dow 30 buy side 11 million. Mag 7 buy side 15 million.
So generally, I like to sit on hands for the first 5 minutes, unless an absolutely perfect play comes in, with exceptions. So I don't call it a rule. I call it standard operating procedure that I'm perfectly comfortable with just sitting for the first 5 minutes and letting the crazy shake out there first in the first 5 minutes, and then wait for potentially some expansions. I like the expansions because then I get nice, snappy, crisp plays outside the fiddle zone. You'll also learn about what the fiddle zone is in our training here. I'm all eyes right here, right now. Okay, I can just, where do I focus my eyes? It's this. I just want to wait till the histogram. I want to get a hill outside of this yellow area for the ideal. And I would like to have an arrow that correlates with my nerd to lock in what direction and when I'm going to take a play. Okay, here we go. We've pushed up outside of that fiddle zone now. This is probably that jagged move I was talking about a minute ago. Big play here, likely looking for continuation to the long side here first because of the jagged warning on the tape. Do not look for a reversal of this. I want to look for a long in the direction of the move. Moving very quickly.
Enigma long on the RTY2. Enigma long on the NQ4.
Nvidia shares up 3% at the open as ARM ADRS rises 12% as well.
Okay, in the bat, in a ready DD here. I'm going to get long here. I know I'm not a long player, but this is my chance to try to snap along here on jagged on the tape. It took some heat right there, so I'm going to take half quickly off of that.
Harmonic NQ on the 5. Alpha Omega down NQ on the 7. Alpha Omega up NQ on the 5.
There's an Enigma. Should be looking to add, but this is very, very fast. It's too fast. You see the little warning in the bottom left there. Okay, I'm going to lock in that first trade there of the morning. Too whippy, too quick going on there. I'm going to lock in that first trade. I do not like the speed here. It is too fast. But we did grab that first play there. This was a jagged warning. That jagged warning we talked about earlier. The bottom of the play there was the cipher plus the bottom of the channel with a... I'm sorry. No, it started right here with the Ready DD. The ad was in the space right here, and the Enigma, I should have added again there. Could have gotten more out of that play there. That did end up pushing over 100 ticks. Yeah, that's a 150 tick move there off of the Enigma. It was, again, my first play. I want to be very cautious of that. It's within that 5-minute window, so I'm going to be very cautious on my first play. I'll take that very first one there. Trade number 1. Only 500 bucks there on that first play. Got the open line up here.
Extending gains following Friday's rally.
Okay, now we have a Super AO coming in over on the 9s. So my first play here now, I might be able to look for a reversal up here. We have the Super AO. I'm looking for it. Okay, I'm going to Seuss, toe in the water here first. I've got one on the high time frame coming in right here.
NQ on the 5. Harmonic NQ on the 7. Harmonic NQ on the 9.
All right, I'm going to grab 100 ticks out of that. Well, 90. Pretty simple play there on that one. We've got the Super AO on the high time frame. That's what gave me the idea that I had a high time frame opportunity, low time frame risk. I have the 9.9 right there in front of the open line. Pretty easy play there. That is called a Super AO. I've got the Super because it's Ready DD. I've got the AO at a 9.9. Nice little drop in there. So far, working out to be exactly what I said there this morning. The ideal is for me to have winner, winner, chicken dinner. Now I'm focused here on a bonus for my third play within 5 trades. Now remember, I am going to either do 5 trades or 60 to 90 minutes, whichever comes first. I want a healthy amount of time to spend in the video game. I'm going to play it like a video game. I'm not going to complain. I'm going to come in. I'm going to try to put points on the board. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. I need within 2 winners enough to pay for chicken dinner for my family. Anything else is just bonus. So I'm there on bonus time now here, and I'm barely past the US Open. It's 9:34:50, so 10 seconds till the first 5 minutes is up. Nice couple of plays there this morning. The jagged warning let us know to give you that continuation there on the first play. The second one, we exhausted it with a nice Super AO at the top of a high time frame, took it, and then had the lower time frame entry play as well.
55 spot 3 with a range of 55 spot 4.
Okay, we're about to come up here to the top of the fiddle zone one more time here. The masher is right there on that white line. We also have a secondary masher right here on deviation 2. So we have deviation 1, deviation 2. Deviation 2 is a perfect setup for the masher coming. Okay, there's a red arrow. Still on strong buy though. We'd like to see the nerd come with us. Okay, there's a power PRZ cross. I could take that one. I just don't like that it's so close to the open line. Hearing buyers all over the tape there, so I'm skipping on that PRZ cross. Thanks to Audio Box. Okay, now I've got a Super AO right in front of the open. I will go ahead and do a half here for my bonus. Going against strong buy, so remember I'm only looking for a T1 here. And I'll lock it in right there, 35 ticks. Let's go, 3,500 on the morning. Very, very nice. Super AO, locked it in right there. Pulled it off on 35 ticks. 35 ticks is T1. Now, why did I only T1? Because I'm against the nerd. Very simple. T1, if this is green and I'm going to take a quick short, it needs to be quick. I'm looking for target 1. I'm not trying to be a superhero on a play where I'm going against the nerd. If this is on strong buy, or in this case it came back to moderate buy here, I'm looking for a target 1, max target 2 in a play like that. If I got the nerd with me, then I can hold on to a runner. Very simple, quantitative way for us to approach the video game. Make sense? Also, we had the high time frame. This is called a Mega Late Nate. Mega Late Nate right there. 2 crosses, one of them a AO, one of them a white cross. So it's mega because we have the AO. Late Nate is the last cross on a series move right there for a reversal. And that's another one that if you want to go into documentation, type in Mega Late Nate, and you'll get details on that in video format and of course visuals and walkthrough text for those who like to read.
Enigma short on the YM2.
Whenever there's a break in action, can you show jagged on the MACV? Yes. Yeah, we can definitely do that. Great question. I did just tap that bonus. So let's go ahead and let's talk about that now. So finished out winner chicken dinner. Let me put this right up here. Where's the best place to put this here? Well, let's keep that one. Let's and do a quick assessment here of the morning because job is done. You're like, but wait, how can we be done? But everybody else live streams for 4.5 hours and 17 hours a day, and Pocket Pooper is on all day long. And yeah, they're stupid. Oh my goodness. Again, the markets, this is like coming in and fighting Mike Tyson. I'm not going to beat the market. Everybody's like, oh, you beat the market. Well, yeah, if you think that if you got some profits that you beat the market. No, dude, the market made way more than you, I promise. Okay, Mike Tyson's in the ring, and it's a Mike Tyson with no energy deprivation. The thing will go and go and go. Okay, but we all have limits. We are human, we have limits, and full auto is not going to save you from the markets itself. We want to get in, we want to get out. There's a whole concept around cadence. I'm here to teach you. I have been around the markets for 20 plus years. I'm 46. I'm an old dude. Okay, I'm not your 20-year-old, 20-something who's out there being like, follow me on YouTube, boys. Hey guys, let's go, boys. Get in my Discord. Click on my WAP over here. Whop 'em, whop 'em. All right, this ain't your place. This ain't the place. I will yell at you and tell you what you need to do. I will tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. Today is the 1st, so let's pull up the numbers here on screen. Is 6-1, not 7-1. There we go. Okay. So here's you do not have to be perfect to be profitable. Okay, you're going to see, learn to love the dips, folks. Learn to love the dips. Do not let this frustrate you. When you see a dip in your P&L, don't get mentally disabled by seeing a dip. Learn to love the dips. You can make your way through it. You'll learn this through spending a bit of time in market replay. That's why I tell you to spend a lot of time in market replay. There's a direct correlation in the amount of time that you spend in market replay and the size of your P&L.
55 spot 4 to 53 expected.
Okay, so about 1,000 there for the bots. Bots did their job. I kind of consider them employees, and then I take over and play in the discretionary area. Over 4K on the day, 4,500-ish there in total. If we want to look at the stats themselves, we can go into the summary here. So max drawdown, 1,000. That's also important. Profit factor, 5.3. What does that mean? Profit factor of 5.3 means that my winners were 5.3 times the size of my losers. Now, dividing up depending on how you're entering into positions, when I'm entering in with multiple contracts, these in the NinjaTrader performance report, break these up in per contract, per fill is how this goes. So some of these are like, well, it looks like you took 100 and something trades. Let's see what it says here. For my trade count, total number, it says like, you took 18 trades. Why does it say you took 18 trades? Okay, like this isn't always, I don't want to say it's not accurate because it is accurate. The way that it records trades by fills, this is going to give you numbers, right? Obviously, from my perspective, I took 3 trades, right? So this is important to understand when you're looking at a performance report. Like, well, this says you took 16 trades. It's wrong, or no, it's just the way it records, okay? And this has to do with how the contracts were broken up, how it got filled on the tape, etc., etc. Make sense? So I took 3 trades. It says 18. So any questions of that? Oh, there's my alarm. Alexa, stop. Okay, that means we've got big news coming out, Red Star news in 3 minutes. So generally, I want to sit on hands 2 minutes before the news, 3 minutes after. We're coming right into that zone. We had a nice little alarm there. Remind ourselves, if I were still into plays here this morning, I would want to be aware that we've got a Red Star News event coming up here in just a few moments. Okay, so I'm going to get through this quickly, and I'm going to come back and answer his question there around how did we see jagged on the tape there this morning. Okay, 66% winners, and profit factor, again, winners 5 times the size of losers here, and there's your stats here on the day. I do encourage our members to post all of that. We did have some long trades in there. Says 5 trades, 5 contracts. Basically there, that's probably, oh no, I took a long, didn't I? I did take a long there this morning. How about that? I'm a bear at heart. There's a whole thing around that. I like to choose one side of the market and just own it. I would recommend that you do the same. Be a bull, be a bear, don't be a pig. Why? Bulls make money, bears make money, pigs get slaughtered. Remember that one? Pick one. Be a bull, be a bear, stick there. It will cut off half of your decision making and get really good at your video game scenario where you're using your keys on the left hand side of the keyboard there, where you get used to pressing one side entry and one side exit. I didn't get to use half there this morning. Oftentimes you will see me using half and close. Today the market was super fast there this morning. A little bit of adjustment to the norm, but if you'll see me in my other live streams, you'll see me using the half button a lot. When I have ATMs on, I'll also be punching in some of our other bracket items, naked, add stop, etc. Depending on different market characteristics, but our system has all the buttons that you need, nothing that you don't. Make sense? Okay, so jagged on the tape. To get to his question there around the jagged on the tape. How did I know jagged on the tape there? It was 9:25 as I recall there this morning. So I scroll back here. How did we see jagged on the tape? There it is right there. Very obvious to me because I have seen it a bunch of times. Jagged. Do you see how all of a sudden it got jagged right there? Do you see the little 3 teeth jagged? If you see it, type a 1. 2 if you're new and you still don't see it.
NQ on the 7, NQ on the 5.
Do you see it now? See if I can make my little pointer very, very small. I'm looking right here. This is why I say sometimes warn everyone, because sometimes they won't see it. That's jagged. Do you see how it looks like a sawtooth? Okay, now let me scroll back and what's normal. Do you see how most of the tops of these are smooth? You see that? Smooth right there. Smooth. You see this? Jagged. Okay, there it is. Jagged. Okay, here, what's that? Smooth. Right over here. That one kind of look a little jagged right there, but we want to see something very obvious, like a triple jag. Okay, that's a triple jag. That is an obvious jag. Look at this one. Smooth. Okay, let's go up here. Look at this. Smooth. You see it? Smooth, smooth. Normal is smooth, okay? When you get a jagged on the tape, this is where I say warning, big move coming, okay? This is, it's hard to explain how this happens. Like looking inside of the tape itself. Do I have a time and sales open? I don't think I have a time and sales.
NQ on the 7.
There are things going on the tape, and this is how I visually indicate it to you. As simple as that. Everything that we do here is about visualizing time and price, okay? We're visualizing the time and the price there, and we see things that others cannot see here with our play, okay? So when you see that right there, it's as simple as that. I'm here to not make things more complex. Places like ICT and, FTARDs like those guys want to scam you, make you feel like you're dependent on them. I make you independent of me. I'm going to teach it to you, and then I want you to be free. Does that make sense? I'm here to, I don't want to say I'm like Jesus, but we're here to set the captives free, right? You're financially free of the burdens of the nonsense when they're like, the next time you want a job, you're going to need to take this jab, son. I'm going to force you to take this jab. You better take this jab, boy, if you want a job. You can tell them to go off, okay? Hope you get that same level of freedom that I've tried to give to my own family, and I want to give it to yours as well.
Strong factory production for a second successive month. in response to a further
I got a whole thing around all that.
upturn in order books. But since the outbreak of the war in the Middle East, we have seen production and demand buoyed by...
Any other questions? Pop them there in the chat.
Companies worry over
Getting the same AO numbers indications you, but yours are blue, mine are green. What am I missing?
US crude futures.
Dave C, have you been through the 8-day boot camp?
After Iran's Tasnim news agency says that Iran's negotiating team...
Vinny, you're the truly best I have ever had. I've had a lot. This community is unreal. Thanks, Chase. Appreciate that, sir.
Double delta NQ on the 7.
We have posted out the US S&P manufacturing PMI May reports for those interested.
John, good morning, sir. Great to see you. Okay, so you've been through the 8-day boot camp. What changes the colors of these AOs? Like, did you take notes? All right, so if we go right click, go to indicators. This is one of the very few things, and I try to emphasize this so much. I can lead a horse to water, I cannot make you drink, but I will lead you there and we'll talk about it again. But I want you to know these things. Y'all need to know these things. Everybody, pay attention right now. Please pay attention. I want you to succeed. I want you to succeed. You have to know the basics of your tools. What changes the color of the AOs? There's only one thing, y'all. No, there's two things. There's two things that y'all have to change. On Monday, you need to change and lock in your wave chart to the proper range. That's one thing you have to change. One setting you've got to change on Mondays. You're going to have to go to your charts and put in the ranges, okay? That's one thing. We do all the rest for you. I will do everything else for you. I will show you everything you need. You got to do two things. One, you got to lock in the range. Number two, you have got to know what this is. This little section right here, that's it. This is all. The other thing you need to do is be able to AO tune. What am I talking about? Tuning your AOs. It's called AO tuning, alpha omega tuning. I tell you to go watch this video. I tell you to study this video, and y'all won't do it. Why? Y'all help me. Help me to understand you. Look, man, when I was a student in school, if the teacher said I needed to do something, I did it, okay? I was valedictorian in my high school class, president of McKinney, Texas A&M University, so I'm wired a little differently, okay? If somebody says I need to do something, I'm probably going to do it. Now, I have an authority problem now because now I also figured out that authority figures are out there lying. You got liars in lab coats sitting around here. Doctors will tell you to take a jab that's terrible for you because they're like, well, they won't get their paycheck. Well, they will lie to you, okay? There's no holier than thou scenarios, right? So I have trust issues with authority all kinds of places, okay? Yeah, y'all still think NASA is real? You're fucking retarded. Okay, pardon my French. But let's go with this right here. I'm telling you, you need to know what this is and how it works. Low strength value. Okay, low strength value means how high does it have to be to even show it to me? Okay, high strength value will change the color. Okay, the high strength is what do I want to determine as a strong value. Blue and pink come from this number right here.
The top of the hour, we see the
okay, so this is a color thing. Okay, it's still going to be the same number, but do you want to color? You want to consider anything over 7
with a range of 50
high? Then you can change this right here. Make sense? And this varies. In fact, if you're trading the Asian session, I also tell you it's important to know because these will give you amazing pivots at nighttime. Hint and pro tip to anybody trading the nighttime session. JD trades, you listen? Hope you're here. The nighttime folks, for the nighttime crew, it is important to know if you go adjust this, just this alone, you could literally trade with just the AOs in the Asian session, in my opinion. Go look at the beautifully amazing pivots that happen overnight in the Asian session, even when the markets are super thin. When this happens and these hit, the market pivots on these. You need to lower the numbers. The ideal is to take half the number that you're doing during the daytime. So, and that's rule of thumb, okay? Now, you still need to do AO tuning. I'm not going to walk you through everything. It's like a 30-minute video on understanding AO tuning, looking to the left, see what the most recent pivot was, and then you apply the current one, or you don't have to necessarily apply it, but you need to know what it is mentally to go, is it a 4 or is it a 2 that I want to pivot on? It's that simple. I just explained it, but you need to see it visually, so go through the video, okay? But right here, this is important. The low strength threshold will go, I'm not going to draw it unless it's at least this. I'm set to a 4.4 right now, and it's 4.4 because I want a 4.5 to show up. Does that make sense? 4.5 because I'm on the 5s. I'm on a very high time frame compared to my normal because the market volatility right now is insane. Okay, because Trump is insane. and he's a dangerous kind of insane because he's an intelligent insane. And we've got war stuff going on right now and all that in between. The markets are wild right now, so I've got to play on a higher time frame bar for my entries, and then therefore I need to do a lower number on my threshold for showing me when I want to pivot with what I want to consider important for me to have a R2FA event that I see the big guys on the tape. Okay, a mouthful of things, but just know if you want to use my settings, 4.4 and 9 currently. And remember this too, you can always download my workspace. Anytime I make some major change to my workspace with settings, things like this, I will upload my workspace to the community workspaces section, and I put a screenshot of my layout and the XML file. You just take the XML file, put it in your workspaces folder, restart NinjaTrader, and then you'll have it in the drop down. You'll see Vinny's live stream workspace right there with the most recent one, labeled usually with today's date that I put the workspace there. Make sense? Are we good? All right, other questions? Peter, you just joined us. Welcome aboard. Great to have you with us. Let's see. We're talking about the P point. What does the yellow line indicate? See, late last week you were talking about the P point. What does the yellow line indicate? The yellow line of the P point? So that is the center of the daily pivots.
Southern suburbs to leave.
That's
from Israel to the
that's all it is.
Southern suburbs.
And you'll see the market return to it a lot. So he's asking about the P point here. So the P point is the central pivot of the pivot points that you see on the pivot indicator. These are called daily pivots. That's these right here. So they label them S. I didn't invent these. These are standard floor pivots. They call them floor pivots when the floor was active and whatnot. This is a specific calculation of prior day information that gets out the support levels below and the resistance levels above. So you'll see R for resistance, S for support. I'm doing air quotes here. I'm doing the big air quotes like it's support and resistance. Okay, listen, support and resistance isn't worth that much, right? Everybody, go find a support and resistance trader who's been around for a year. They're probably broke. Okay, 90% of traders lose 90% of their money in 90 days or less, and this is the very first thing they learn. Like, be careful of thinking that support and resistance is a thing. Okay, support and resistance, these are what I would call standard daily pivots. The P point happens to be in the middle. So to answer your question there as thoroughly as possible, is the P point is the center of those daily pivots. Does that make sense? And oftentimes we'll return to those. So there's a whole theory around, well, oftentimes we return to those. Okay, well, there's a lot of theory. Like, be careful of being a theorist. Okay, be careful of theory boys who sit there and tell you all the theories. Okay,
for the month of May.
Execution is what matters. Okay, you can be a terrible theorist and a great executioner. And the executioner will win
The price is paid
almost every single time.
85
Okay.
on the prior.
Theory is just theory.
Employment
Okay.
index.
Putting pedal to metal is where the money is made. Make sense?
Orders forecast at 54.8.
All right. It's like going to college.
And we also
Well, I learned about engineering. I learned me some engineering. Okay, and then you talk to the guy who's, been in AutoCAD for the last 20 years, who's like, who actually done the drawings and built buildings and I know how to do it. I did a project in college. I drew a square. That's great. That's great. Yeah, your theory is as useless as the college kid coming out who's ready for a job. Okay, you need to sit behind somebody who's done it, who is doing it, who's doing the work. Okay. What made you choose 5 in the ALGO bars for today's session? Good question. So generally you'll see my teaching and training. Where am I usually, right? I'm showing you something like on the 2s or the 3s. I'm taking a risk here. I'm going to click on 3. If this locks up, I'm really gonna be sad. There we go. All right. Oh, look at that. The new version is so awesome, so clean. All right, I'm gonna go all the way down to the 2s. So on the 2s, this is where I would generally be, look how fast this is. Okay, like the thing is in the current market conditions, I already know, like there's At some point when you're using the system, you'll become like Neo from the Matrix. If you use the system long enough, it's sort of like becoming good with any of your tools. Somebody using a hammer, a chisel, a saw, any tool in their hands, you're going to get good at it. I can sort of start to determine what's what without having to need like, well, why do I do the thing? And you're at that spot right now where you're asking like, why use the hammer? Why use the claw hammer instead of the sledgehammer, right? But at some point, you just kind of know, right? You're like, oh, I want the one with the good handle on it, or you'll just get to know. Right now, I just know the market is too fast for me to sit here and try to play off of the twos, right? I just generally know. So I'm up on the fives, and this has to do with gear shifting. Now, gear shifting is a whole concept that we do teach. You even go over this in the 8-day bootcamp, and we go into it in depth in the detailed videos for premium members. So if you go to premium members and you look into the gear shifting stuff, you'll hear me talk about that a lot. There's two main ways to gear shift. One is the ALGO bars size. The other is choosing the instrument. So NASDAQ, the NASDAQ is the wild child, right? Everybody wants to trade NASDAQ because, oh, it's fun, because it's fast, it moves a lot. Okay. But there's a double-edged sword to that. Higher reward, higher risk, higher movement. The faster you can make money, the faster you can lose money too, right? Goes both ways. Warren Buffett infamously said, risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. Risk is not risk by itself. Not saying that, oh, well, here's the risk because of your size. Your size, in fact, when you know what you're doing, you want to lever up, which is how the majority of people who are wealthy and filthy rich, they levered up at the moment when they knew they had the right formula. Does that make sense? And that's what I do. It's what you should do, in my opinion. When you are ready, you'll know, right? But can I trade on any time frame? I can. But now I adjust my targets off of the twos. Can I be shooting for 35 ticks for target one on the twos? Pop quiz. Y'all answer me there in the chat. If I'm on the twos, should I be targeting 35 ticks for target one on the twos?
1 minute remaining for the US ISM manufacturing PMI.
Exactly. No. Okay. Down on the twos. What am I looking for? That is the standard ATMs that y'all see me do. Okay. Standard ATM on the twos. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to use the small ATM. Okay. Small. I want 10 ticks, 15 ticks down here, right? I'm not trying to shoot the moon down here. I'm not going to get big plays. But when the market is going to hand out cake, okay, when the market is moving this wide, okay, when we get moves that are like, let's see this move right here. This just this move right here. 606 ticks. 600 ticks. This just moved down in like minutes while I'm sitting here talking. Okay, the market is making big moves, right? I don't want to come down here and play in Play-Doh land when the market is like, hey, I'm here to hand you beef, and I'm sitting over here, you know, trying to
54
have some kind of like
price is paid at 82 spot one.
some slop in a bowl.
Lower than forecast.
Make sense?
Employment.
So I want to move up higher time frame because I know I'm going to have bigger opportunities. So I want to play bigger opportunities.
56 spot 8 higher than.
Does that make sense?
54 spot 5.
So I could take a ton down here and have to react super fast, but like literally this has been on too fast the entire time I've been talking, right? The BPM right now is 500 BPM. Okay. And if you don't know what this is, it's like on your speedometer, thing's way off. And if I turn the psychology module on, the chart's going to be covered with red and a giant X on it the entire time. I'll just be okay, well, I got to wait forever for this thing to slow down if I'm going to play down here on the ones or twos. So to answer his question, he said, so why am I trading on the fives? Simply because if I go to the fives, I will, well, I'm about to change it. News just came out. It's 10 a.m. So we had 10 a.m. news. So if I do this, I could lock up here. I'm going to risk it, see how good the system is now. I'm going to try to shift to fives while the market is moving fast. Look at this beautiful thing. Come on now. Let's hear it for the new version. Are you guys loving the new version? I spent 4 sprints with our team working through only things related to performance, and it is performance to the max. It is awesome. I love it. So smooth, buttery smooth through all transitions. Don't have to worry about lockups. That's amazing. I would have never in the past done that where I switched in between while we just had a news release. Isn't that awesome? Okay, so even on the fives right now, we're too fast. So watch this. I'm going to gear shift until this red goes away, okay? So I'm on the fives. How about we go all the way to the sevens? Let's see if the sevens are going to give us a speed that we can work with here. Even the 7s are one. I think we might need to wait for a couple bars here.
Harmonic NQ on the 7.
Nope. So even the 7s are too high. Let's go all the way to the 9s. Okay, there we go. Valid speed on the 9s. You see? And I can gear shift like that. I talked to you guys about that in the training. And now look, and then there was a perfect play right here, right? Super AO here on the 9s. And a 9s play is going to be way larger, right? This doesn't look like much. Like this little move here on like the 2s or something might be 25 or 30 ticks. Here, though, that move is 143 ticks from that Super AO up. Isn't that cool? How about this power headshot to the downside? Power headshot right there. If I were to hit that and exit on opposing signal, that's 150 ticks. This is the beauty of a system like this where you take time out of the element. I mean, technically there is time there, but I'm saying visually, not using time bars where good traders go to lose all their money. Time bars are useless. I have a whole video around that. I believe that time charts are useless unless you just want to lose your money or you want to, you know, have the hardest time ever. Look, we're using, this is the age of technology. Why would you not use technology? I don't know why people are still fighting it. It makes no sense, especially when we've made it as affordable as it is with our system. But then again, that's just me, one man's opinion, and we're here to demonstrate it. Love the new version. Love it. Okay, last chance for any questions. Did I miss any other questions here? Because we are after 10 a.m. It's coffee time, and I am winner chicken dinner plus a bonus here this morning already. About 4,500 there this morning for the morning session. And again, video game is, we're done. We came in here, we played the video game, we came, we saw, we made some money. Mike Tyson didn't knock us out before we grabbed our bags. And that's how I recommend you approaching the markets on a day-over-day basis. One thing that people talk about, consistency, it's nonsense. If somebody has a consistent P&L, the exact same all the time, they're taking a lot of risk. The markets are volatile. The markets are unpredictable. The markets are like chaotic. The best traders thrive in chaos, finding a way to play in cadence, having a set of strategies on how they approach the market. They approach the market in a consistent way. Their P&L should not be consistent. Does that make sense? Because if you are consistently inconsistent, aka if you're able to ride the market in its inconsistency, because the market is inconsistent. This whole nonsense of people like, well, I'm looking for a consistent trader. No, you're not. You're not looking for a consistent trader. That is nonsense. That is a lie. That is ignorance. It is not willful ignorance because they just don't know. Ignorance is not stupidity. That in fact, it sounds smart to be like, I'm looking for a consistent trader. No, the markets are inconsistent. You want someone who can work inside of inconsistency, but play the same way. So if you're saying, well, I want to see them consistently play the same way, that's different, in my opinion. Just one man's opinion, but you need to be able to go, the market's going to throw me a new map, potentially every single day. And because I come in with my weapons lined up, the way that I'm going to approach the market, you know, in the military, they don't go in with one weapon. No, nobody is walking around with all the gear that they've got on with one weapon. Like, here's Toto. I'm walking in with my Tony Romo, my 9mm here. No, that's not like, okay, no, there's multiples, right? You might need close up, you might need at a distance, you might need a grenade, you might need a rocket launcher, you might need support weapons, you might need, you know, sniper, you might need the undercarriage for a grenade launcher. You come into a scenario where you don't know what's going to occur, prepared for all situations. And that's what we do here by coming in with multiple ways to approach the market. So it doesn't matter what scenario, what hallway the market throws us down, what open field we're left in, we've got a tool for every situation. Make sense? Is the AO tuning video in the 8-day bootcamp? The 8-day bootcamp, we talk about it, but it's such an in-depth thing. I say, go watch this video where I'm like, you have to watch. You have to watch this video. Okay. I need to get very specific. You need to watch the AO tuning video, the Alpha Omega tuning video. Go watch it. Okay. And take notes and understand what it is, and then just do it. Because it's not something hard. It's just something you absolutely need to do, and it needs to be explained. You need to understand why you're doing it, because it's the most subjective thing we do, because you need to kind of look to the left and you go, okay, what's a good pivot right now? Well, this one was a 12.4 when we pivoted. This one was a 4.4. We pivoted on a 4.4. So can I use a 4.4 next? Where it was located looks good. There's a whole thing around it. Look to the left, and it depends on the time of the day. When was the shift? There are sections of the day. Let's go to our room and type ! sessions here real quick. Remember that there are different commands that you can use in our room. Well, some of them are more important than others, but if you type ! sessions, this will pop up a little GUI here, and this is in our documentation too, but we also have a lot of our stuff really available at your fingertips. I want Discord to be a very useful tool for you to just live inside of Discord. If you're living in there and you are staying attentive with what we're doing in our room, Discord is super powerful for you to be able to use along with us. Okay, by type sessions, you'll see that each section is designated by one of these little lines on the timeline here in this diagram. So if I were to pick, for instance, this section here, I want the AO number for this area, which I might need another one right here. I'm going to pause there for a second, let you think about what I just said.
YouGov poll, UK May year ahead inflation.
I need a number for this section.
7%.
I want a number for this section. And of course, you can extrapolate that farther. I probably want a number for this section, right? And I got some more breaks here. I probably want a number for this section. What's my AO value for this section? Do I want to go, well, this morning it was a 5.5.
Oh, says the UK May.
Do you think the 5.5 from the Wild Child Open is going to apply at 2 o'clock in the afternoon? Well, if you think about it, you're probably going to say, oh, maybe not. But maybe. It may absolutely be. It depends on what the market throws you that day. Okay? Depends on the map. And this is why I'm saying we can adjust to any market condition by just a couple of things. I have narrowed down the market down to just a few things that you need to do as a trader to be an amazing trader. You don't have to do a whole lot of things because I let the tools do the rest of the work, right? Tools do the work, but I need you to do a couple things. One, learn about how to do AO tuning. Tune your AOs. You'll see what I mean. The AOs will make us all look like heroes, not zeros. Make sense? All right, thanks for hanging out here with me there this morning. I'm gonna adjust my charts, get back to normal layouts here. At about 4,500 there this morning. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. That's all you gotta do. And we have 2 filters, by the way. I just want to talk about this. If you thought this was complicated this morning, it was pretty fast here. I will tell you, this morning was a very fast Mentorship Monday. This is not normal. This is a out of bounds, out of normal. We made our money very quickly here this morning. The markets are moving very quick. It's not always like this, but it may seem hard, but I'll tell you this. It's 2 filters, 2 steps for your filter, 2 steps. When you learn this, it's not hard. Anyone can do it, in my opinion. If you can see the difference between red and green, and even red-green colorblind, we have a thing for that. You can click a couple buttons and it will change it for you. Even Windows has a colorblind option for things. We can fix that for you. But generally speaking, if you can tell the difference between red and green, up and down, you can probably trade this, because I have tried to make this as simple for my own children. I have 4 children. When I was first started this to the public zone of this, my daughter was 4 years old, and I looked at her and I thought about how would I teach her what she needs to do one day when she's going to be trading with me. What does she need? What tools does she need? And if I can get it to where she can do it, I will be able to do it so simply as well. I developed these tools for myself, and now you have the access to them. That's how we go. And you have 13 hours to get the platinum version too. If you want the platinum, you don't have to. You can wait. You don't need the platinum. You don't need it. But it's pretty awesome, in my opinion. 2-step filter. 1, the nerd. This right here takes care of the majority of what most traders are sitting there just trying to figure out all day. This is it. It's right there. It's already done for you. The NASDAQ, the ES, the RTY, and the Dow all consolidated into one thing and color coded, where literally a child can go, oh, what color is it? It's green. It says moderate buy. Okay, it's a buy side. Ding. The majority of all your work is done. Boom, step 1, filter there. Now I need to know if I'm trading NASDAQ, well, what's the NASDAQ currently? Does it correlate? We're currently neutral. Oops, let's go on slow mode. Currently neutral. So it doesn't help. This isn't a great example here. And we're in the middle of the fiddle zone. So really right now I have no bias. Our rule, I'm sorry, not our rule. Our main job as traders is filtering. It's easy to know when to trade. It's hard to know when not to trade. Your entire job as a trader is actually to know when not to trade, filtering those trades so that you are only trading when everything is in your favor. Makes sense? And not everything is always going to be in your favor. Okay, you're not going to wait till all the lights, go green from here to Shanghai. You wait on that. Confluence has a cost. If you're waiting for everything to line up, you'll be behind on the entry. People have mentioned that before. And like somewhere in there, I got to take a risk. But that's where I teach toe in the water. Like, okay, well, this is the beginning of it. Toe in the water here. And again, I could have gotten some bigger plays here this morning if I'd gone all in on some scenarios, but I don't do that either. I'm not going to, because any given moment, I can have a perfect play set up. Nothing is going to be 100%. Okay. We had a dip in our P&L here. Okay. It's not every single one is going to be a winner. I just want to make sure that I keep my winners smaller. My losers smaller than my winners when possible. And I say when possible because some markets throw at, there's maps that come out where I might need to adjust that. But I want to play consistently in the way that I approach the market. If I'm consistent in that, then I can thrive in the chaos of the markets changing on a minute-by-minute basis. Our system and the tools and the rules keep you in the game and make it so that I can come in here, grab winner, chicken dinner, plus a bonus on a daily basis. That's how we approach it. Make sense? All right. Hope that's helpful. 2 steps for the filter. I want the nerd plus the arrow. Now I have my direction. I hover my finger over that color. So if they're both red like they are right now, look, I got red and red. I'm going to walk you through this right now. Watch this. Red and red. Okay. Guess where I stick my mouse? Beep. I literally hover my mouse over the red button now. Now I wait for 2 things to show up on the chart. It's all about 2s here. Okay. If you can do 2 things at a time, you're good. You have 2 hands? Yep. Do you have 2 eyes? Yep. It's in 2s. I got my 2-step filter. Hover my finger over the mouse. Now I need 2 things to show up on the chart. I need a structure plus an order flow event. Structure plus an order flow. One of those, a structure plus an order flow we talked about this morning, is called a headshot. Maybe I'm like waiting for headshots. Maybe I want to be a headshot player. Maybe I want a super AO. Obviously, I'm a big super AO fan. You'll see me taking a lot of super AOs here on our live streams. I'm a huge fan of super AOs and enigmas. Okay, so now I just wait for the one that correlates with my color, and I just wait. I got red and red. I'm just gonna wait for it, wait for it, and when it shows up, I hit the button. It's really that simple. That's the way that I approach the markets. Hopefully, you might want to too. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'll catch you tomorrow, Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? Yep, Tuesday. Let's rock it out. We'll be here between 8:30 and 9 a.m. See you there in the morning. I'm out.